Today, I want to launch into the first of a few segments that takes a look at your board of directors in relation to your nonprofit brand. So how do the board of directors of your nonprofit represent your brand? That's a really critical question, and we have to be really mindful in how we set that up. Board members are critically important to your nonprofit organization. In fact, you can't register a nonprofit organization without having board members in place. So they're essential, but they're also hard to find and sometimes hard to manage. Many small or startup nonprofits will have board members that are friends or family members. Some nonprofits have governance boards, while others have working boards. And nonprofits of all sizes can have personalities and politics involved in board relations from time to time. So how can we be sure that our board members understand their value, their role in contributing to our organization, and the requirements we need them to follow to adhere to our brand standards? Let's begin by defining what type of board your nonprofit has so you're setting proper expectations. If your nonprofit has a governance board in place, their role is to provide strategic direction and financial oversight. This means they're responsible for vetting your strategic plan, overseeing the financial health of your organization, and ensuring the organization stays in compliance with state and federal regulations. If your nonprofit has a working board, they'll take on a more active role in coaching the nonprofit in addition to those governance responsibilities. Working board members can get involved in daily operations. We typically find working boards in smaller or startup nonprofits where the funds to hire paid staff are not yet available or sustainable. So working board members are performing the day-to-day work of the organization. So keep the type of board you have in mind as you think through their role in your brand. All board members, regardless of the type of board they sit on, play a crucial role in representing the nonprofit's brand by aligning their actions, decisions, and public statements with the organization's mission and values. When we list nonprofit leadership on our website and in our annual report, we're putting our board members at the forefront of that, right in partnership with our executive director, if we have one in place. They have a spotlight on them, and because of that, we need to be absolutely certain that their behavior aligns with what our organization represents. As visible leaders, board members also serve as ambassadors for the nonprofit, advocating for its cause and supporting its initiatives. Their public support actually contributes to the credibility and visibility of your brand. So upholding high ethical standards and accountability is essential for board members. Their behavior should contribute to building and maintaining trust in your brand. Additionally, board members will represent your nonprofit at community events, conferences, and in other public forums. They may even play a role in establishing and nurturing strategic partnerships to advance your mission. So you want their presence and engagement in the community to positively reflect your organization's brand and strengthen that association. Board members should embody professionalism and be able to collaborate effectively with staff, volunteers, and other stakeholders, and not just individually, but collectively as a unit. A cohesive and collaborative board actually contributes to a positive organizational culture and helps reinforce your brand. Now, maybe that all sounds like a lot of pressure and like we're setting high standards for our board members, and we are. But not only are board members held to a high standard, they're responsible for setting standards. They contribute to strategic decision-making that shapes the direction and the activities of our organization, and their decisions should be in line with our brand identity and long-term goals. Many organizations also require board members to contribute financially to the organization or to participate in fundraising efforts. Some organizations will give board members the option to raise or write, meaning they can raise an agreed-upon minimum in financial contributions from their network, or they can write a check to make a donation themselves. One quick sidebar here. Please consider how you want your board to engage in fundraising so you can write that requirement into your operating standards and their board job descriptions. And then hold all of your board members universally accountable to those standards. Please do not assume that just because someone cares about your mission and is willing to offer their time to serve on your board, that they're willing to be fundraisers. Some leaders don't want anything to do with fundraising, and they don't even want to open their books to share their contacts for other people to make asks. So if that is part of your board expectation, detail it up front so you won't be disappointed or having disagreements later. And the last thing I want to mention in this segment, because it's so closely related to the financial elements I just mentioned, is stewardship. Responsible stewardship of your organization's resources is a key role for board members. So being transparent in your organization's financial management and accountability can also contribute to your brand's credibility. In summary, The behavior, decisions, and actions of your board members have a direct impact on how your nonprofit is perceived and how your brand is both represented and respected.